Hey everybody, I'm trying something new here to show you one of the things that I like to work on, and that is archiving old recipes from old lady cookbooks and recipe boxes and all kinds of stuff. So just to show you here, this is Bridge. It's a program that allows you to look at the files that you have in a file. Up here you can see the file string, all my stuff. This is from a collection called the Green Metal Box. Look up here. Labeled as BX0022. That's just my designation for my system. But I'm just going to show you how these are done. These were cataloged. Geez, I don't even know when I scanned these. Let's see if we can find out some information here. When did I originally scan these? Should tell me something about the data. Creation date 2006. So they've been sitting in a file. They haven't been dealt with, and gee, 7 years later, maybe we should look at them. Lots of different generations of products. Now I have the knowledge and know-how and skill to know how to scan these better. I actually wish they were scanned in a better quality as far as not having this line that you see across here, but it's no problem. I'm going to show you how to do this if you have your grandmother's recipes or somebody else's recipes or old family photos. We'll do a whole bunch of different videos. But this is the first one, so let's just check it out. You can see what I do, and let me know. So, Bridge is a program from Adobe. It allows you to get stuff to Photoshop very easily. All you have to do is double-click it. So we're just going to do this. It comes over here, and since I scan these all at one time, which is something I don't do anymore, it's kind of a pain, but you can see we just cut them apart. We just copy them each individually, Control-C, File, New. It brings up the width already selected, so hit OK. And then Control-V, which is the paste. And then we just repeat the whole process over again. So Control-Copy, a new one, OK, Control-V, paste. I know that's going to be turned later, but we can do a little rotation right now. And we'll just continue to cut these out, if you want to call it that. I don't know if there's a better name, but that's what I call it. And new, OK, Control-V. And let's see, I got two more here, so we'll do this one. I try to do it a little bit cleanly because it does save some time later on, but you know, it's not that big a deal. And new, one more time. And the last one, kind of a cut job here. Copy, new, OK, and V. So we can close the original one just so it makes me feel happy. The first thing I do when I'm doing multiples like this is I just go through and sorry, a giant moth just came in. I'm going to see if I can pause this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and I'm trying to continue on with this. Literally, there was a moth 4 inches long in my house and buzzing around. He seems to have settled now, but okay, we'll keep going. Anyway, okay, so the next thing we do is we take the ruler tool, which is here, and it is used for leveling things. And what I usually do is I usually find a line that I like, usually down the side like this. The T and the P, if you see, I got the T here coming all the way down to the P in paprika, and I put a line there, snap a line in there, and then you can go to image and image rotate and arbitrary, and it will give you exactly the angle that you need to bring that perpendicular. Boop. And for me, it's all about whatever the words are, whatever the language on the page is what I tend to go by. Pictures, especially in these old things, tend to be off kilter. They weren't done with computer, and so the words usually are straight because that's been a long time coming. Anyway, so just go through each one of these and do kind of the same thing. The bottom of the D over to the bottom of the E will give us a nice line. Image, rotate. Okay. It's funny to go slow and do this. Trying to explain it, I just do it on auto habit most of the time now. I'm doing the T to the T and rotate. And over here we've got the 5-hour stew. Let's see. This one's a little more difficult. Let's try the tip of the 1 to the tip of the 1. That probably will do a good job. Okay. And it's funny, if you look here in the you'll see that the gray, which was from an old screen that was inside of a different scanner than I use now, is there, and the white is the actual background we chose. And then one more here, cook to here. So this may seem tedious to some people, but I find it very interesting. I like to look at the recipe, I like to look at the condition. In this case, it seems to be a lot of newspaper clippings. So I just think it's interesting. I think, where were they? Who was inspired to do this? We're just going to clean up this a little bit. We're just going to use that is the spot healing brush tool. It does a pretty good job for stuff like this. Just touch it up. It just, I don't want to take away the integrity of the piece here. See, this is a continuous pattern, and that's actually part of the manufacturing of the newspaper, but just spots and stuff that, food stains, stuff like that. And then I'm just do, I guess this is called, what is this tool called? I don't even know anymore. The rectangular marquee tool. So do the rectangular marquee tool, and I try to give it a good, a nice little edge there. And then here's the part, is somebody cut these out originally. So I have to decide if I want to give it a rustic edge. You'll see up here, this is cut, so I have to give it a choice. I either have to give it a rustic edge, like, that's somebody's scissors cut, or try to cut around it to try to clean it up. In this case, it's too short, so it's going to be kind of rustic. So I might as well just extend it down a little bit, give us a nice border all the way around. Then I will use this bucket tool, and I will fill this in with the background color, which is white. Now, it looks strange right now, but if you wait for it, I just have an action down here I call action number 3. I click on that. What it's going to do is it's going to go through a whole bunch of different steps. You can see that I have them all programmed in here already, and maybe in a couple more recipes later I'll show you which each one of these steps does. But you can see it's an automated step. I've got it set up, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then just boom, does all of that. It cleans it up. Now, since I'm wanting to rename these and I'm not saving them in Photoshop format, I want to save them in a JPEG just because they're easily used everywhere. I'll just say cancel on here because the end of my little thing over there is to save and close it, but I don't want to do that. So hit the marquee just to get rid of it, and then when I want to save this, I just go up here to save, file, save as. I want to change this to a JPEG, and then I have my own little filing system. For instance, this is fudge, and I know it's a candy product, so I'm going to call it candy. And then what it is, the fudge. Now, we'll come back at a different time, and I will show you how to, we'll put tags on internally on this, so when it gets loaded up to Flickr, people can search it. And that helps people to find recipes, and also help me find stuff in the future. Tagging is an amazing thing, and the fact that I can embed stuff into the actual file now, I didn't used to know how to do that, now I do. It saves an amazing amount of time. So we'll come back to that, but just for now, just how to do the saving of the photo. Hit OK. Hit OK. I save it at max just because I want the best quality, and then I'm going to close this because I've already done with it, and it's still thinking it's a JPEG it's a Photoshop format. We don't want that anymore. It's already been saved as a JPEG, so I'll hit cancel, and it goes bye-bye. Now, it might be a touch slow. I'm running off of an external hard drive, and sometimes it spins down when I haven't used it in a while. So it'll be here. Don't worry, it'll come. Boop ba doop ba doo. Well, we'll let that do it, but we'll go on to the next one, and you'll see it'll close eventually. So same thing here. Now this one has a nice line. It doesn't have any of that garbage from the scanner on it. So I'm just going to try to clean it up a little bit. And what I mean by rustic edge, and I use the word rustic. I was watching some tasted videos today with Noah Galutin, and he said anytime you cut something up and it doesn't look professional, just say it looks rustic. I think that was hilarious. So, and very true. So I'm going to leave it rustic since somebody took the time to, cut a pretty nice edge on it. And I'm just going to cut it out. And so it has a little bit of a border. I like to have the white border on there because it can be changed if it's going to be uploaded to some special site, or you can, easily change the white to whatever color you need it to be. But for most places like Flickr or Facebook or somewhere else you might put this, if you leave it as the white, it kind of has a 3D effect because most of those sites are white anyway. So image, I just go to crop, You saw me do the action, but I didn't actually do the action. I was just playing around while I was talking. And now you can see it actually looks pretty good. You know, you could go through and you could contrast and stuff like that, but I don't think it's necessary. And I think it actually looks pretty good. It actually looks like the rustic newspaper, the aged newspaper color. So I'm going to leave that. So let's try the save as and close again, because I don't know what's going on with that, but let's find out. So this is a stew. Stew for me falls into a soup category, and it's called the 5-hour stew. That's quite a long time. It must get really nice and tender. It's got beef stew, so it's probably a bad cut. 5-hour stew. We'll hit save. We'll hit OK. Before I hit OK, so it says on here quality maximum. That's where I like it to be. You can do it whatever you want, but I figure, you know, space is cheap, hard drives are cheap, and the maximum quality it can have right here is large, which is 12, which I think is weird. It's not 10, but whatever. And OK. And then let's try closing this again. Do you want to save the changes? No. So that goes. Okay, so apparently I just didn't do something right here. So do you want to save the changes? No. Okay. There it is. Expand. Okay, select, modify, expand. Now, you can do this how many of you want, but I usually do a 10 pixel, which then bumps, you'll see it just bumps out the marquee. Boop. And then we'll just do an image crop to that. And there you go. You got your perfect border. Sorry it took so long to find the expand. Now I know I have the tool set up. Okay, so this is this. And now I'm looking at one little thing here, and I wonder if I can clean it up real quick. There we go. Just a dot. So, and we'll just file save this one. And what is this? I don't even know what this is. Boston baked beans, which I call a side. Boston baked beans. Save. And look, that's it. We've done them all. Nope, save. So, come back for more videos. We'll keep doing other stuff, and this is my first one doing this with the actual recording on. So if you enjoyed this, or if you learned something, all the better. You get to see what I like to do. Thanks, guys.